Hello, I'm Juan Carlos Santana, the director of the Institute of Human Performance in Boca Raton, Florida. It is my pleasure to bring you the essence of bodyweight training, the forgotten workout. This two-volume series illustrates the power and diversity of bodyweight training like no other in the fitness and conditioning industry. Although not exhaustive in nature, we have put together the most effective and popular exercises we use with our clients and athletes. You are in for a real treat. Most of the exercises in these videos were introduced to me in the 70s by several of my European and Asian martial arts coaches. However, it is the wonderful athletes I have trained year after year that inspire these videos. Many of our athletes have had the opportunity to train out of our state-of-the-art facility, the Institute of Human Performance. Others have trained with us in gymnasiums, wrestling rooms, tracks, fields, and even parking lots all over Florida. Helping us demonstrate many of the exercises in these videos will be a few of the athletes from the Spanish River High wrestling team and the Boca Raton High baseball team. At the time of filming, they were getting ready for their seasons, which provided a perfect opportunity for you to see how we use some of these exercises with our athletes. As usual, the rest of the IHP clientele will also be featured in some of our live footage. This wide application will give you a peek at the power and diversity behind bodyweight training. The information in these videos was partly designed for the coach or personal trainer that has had to train a sports team or an individual with limited time and resources. This was the position I was in 3 years ago when I met with the wrestling coaches of Spanish River High School. These dedicated coaches welcomed my training approach with open arms, so I wasn't going to disappoint them. They had about 800 square feet and 35 hard-working athletes. I had 40 minutes, 3 to 4 days per week, for a period of about 8 weeks to get the team strong and ready to wrestle. They said we have no equipment, no room, and little time. I said, no problem. We have put together a wide spectrum of exercises covering a wide range of applications. This diverse mix of exercises will allow you to train just about anyone, from the beginner to the very advanced. In this volume, we will cover some basic biomotor skills, agility, balance, and upper body progressions. You will see some of the basic metabolic runs that we use for conditioning and some basic power exercises for the upper body. The selection of exercises in this video can serve as a basic menu list. From this list, you can then integrate these exercises into your own workouts based on the goals and training level of your clients or athletes. Remember that this video is by no means an exhaustive list of exercises. There are endless variations you can come up with. We encourage you to create your own progressions and then share them with your fellow coaches and trainers. Although this training methodology is very powerful, we are not suggesting that coaches should substitute their training methodology with this approach to training. Our position on training has always been one of integration. Use the best of the best and don't limit yourself to one training approach. Integrate some of these exercises into your machine or free weight workouts. You'll entertain those around you and get really strong in the process. Now let's talk shop. When training with bodyweight, certain things should be kept in mind. First, it is extremely important to follow proper progression. Some of the advanced exercises look pretty cool and fun to perform. Don't try them unless you have plenty of strength. This is particularly true of some of the heavy partner lifting exercises. One of the main safety issues is the flooring or training surface used. Many of the biomotor skills, metabolic runs, and individual exercises can be done on hard surfaces, such as concrete or wooden courts. However, exercises, such as the partner carry progressions, should be done on softer surfaces like rubber mats. Appropriate training attire is also a must. A sweaty, slick body can present a problem during partner exercises. One slip can result in serious injury. Always adjust the exercise to the training environment. For example, when working on concrete or wood, limit the height of the lifts and concentrate more on individual exercises and metabolic conditioning. When working on mats or soft grass, you can afford to get a little bit more aggressive. The maturity and experience level of the trainees also plays an important role in exercise selection. Always put safety first and side with a conservative approach. Although our training is well known for its intense nature, we don't believe in the no pain, no gain axiom. When you push the limits of your body, there will be some pain. You can't avoid it at high levels of training and performance. However, we try to differentiate between muscle aches and joint pain. We may choose to work through some muscle aches that are DOMS related, but I certainly pay close attention to joint pain and discourage working through this type of symptom. To ensure safety, we also work closely with our healthcare professionals such as athletic trainers and physical therapists. Now, beyond safety and onto progression tweaks. Bodyweight exercises usually favor the lighter individuals. Do not expect heavier athletes to perform many of the exercises as easy as their lighter counterparts. Gender also affects the exercise selection. In general, females are not as strong in the upper body as males. Therefore, be patient with your female trainees. However, all hard-working individuals can achieve excellent strength levels. We will demonstrate the exercises in this video with people of all ages, genders, and sizes. Just to show you that age, size, and gender do not have to play a huge factor in exercise proficiency. Strength and skill are acquired through hard work and can be attained by anyone willing to put in the time. There are 4 main tweaks we can use to make exercises harder or easier. We can add speed to increase intensity. The additional momentum generated by speed adds to the load of any exercise. A great example of this is explosive push-ups and squat jumps. We also manipulate the lever arm of the exercise. Longer lever arms provide greater loads. For example, a push-up from the knees is easier than a push-up from the feet, and push-ups with extended arms are even harder due to the larger lever. The increasing lever arm provides the amplified intensity of each progression. Reducing the base of support of any exercise can also serve as a tweak to increase its intensity. Examples of this can be found in 3-point push-ups versus 4-point push-ups, and 1-leg squats versus a 2-legged squat. Finally, we can add movement to any position to challenge stability demands. Adding a reach to a single leg balance or adding a reactive component to the partner push-up are great examples of how movement can be used as a progression tweak. There are also minor tweaks that help create progressive overload. These include performing isometrics before movement, as informer walks isometrics before performing the body curls. We also perform partial range of motion exercises before complete ranges of motions are attempted. A great example of this can be seen in the progression we use to attempt a T-stabilization isometric before a T-stabilization rotation, and then we advance to a T-stabilization push-up. Finally, body positions can be changed to take weight off weak areas that need a little bit more time to develop appropriate stabilization strength. This approach to proper progression is illustrated here in these partner pulls. In the beginning stages, the top person is allowed to support the arms on the legs while the bottom athlete performs a reclined pull-up. The next stage has the top athlete fully supporting the partner's rowing motion. Learning body adjustments takes a little time. There are no shortcuts to experience. Be patient and experiment. Use these progressive tweaks to work smart and pain-free. We love to train hard, but demand that our athletes and clients train smart. Now let's get busy. Biomotor skills are not only part of a child's cognitive development, they are also essential to all sports and basic to athleticism. Many biomotor skills can also be classified as locomotive agility drills. Looking for training efficiency, we like to warm up with a variety of biomotor skills. When looking for lower body power development, we just amplify the movement. Without making this a speed training video, we will concentrate on the most popular drills used by all of our athletes and clients. These drills include a variety of running, shuffling, skipping, and hopping drills performed in all possible directions. At times, we use equipment such as ladders, hurdles, cones, and hoops to complement these activities. Jogging drills can be performed anywhere. Jogging eventually turns to running and then progresses to bounding. We jog and run forward, backwards, and include changes in direction. You can use cones or other methods of creating patterns that are specific to your needs or preferences. Various cutting methods can be used to increase the difficulty of any locomotive drill. Regardless of variation, this progression will teach efficiency in mechanics and add leg power to any athlete or client. Good core posture, arm mechanics, and quiet feet are the main cues we emphasize. Shuffles are an excellent drill for developing foot speed and hip mobility. Shuffles can be performed in various ways, in a straight line when working on the field, or in a circle when working in tight quarters. Like our runs, shuffles can be attempted in oblique angles with various cutting patterns to add an agility component. We progress the shuffles into skips and then to power skips. Although this is a simple skill, many elite athletes find it challenging. If we had one drill to select and perfect, skipping would be it. Skipping is our #1 exercise for development of running speed and athleticism. We skip our athletes and clients in every way you can imagine. Ricochets are fast, low-amplitude jumps. They help develop ankle stiffness, which is so important to locomotive speed. The ricochets eventually increase in amplitude to jumps. Multiple jumps are very demanding and great for developing hip and leg power. After mastering multiple jumps, single leg hops are next on the list. For increased agility demands, all of these drills can be done in all planes of motion and in combination. These biomotor drills are the most effective and simple drills we have used with all of our athletes and clients. You can go crazy with all of the track and field drills available, so we have just narrowed it down to these 3 basic exercise categories. Performing these exercises in different planes of motion and in combination with each other gives us an enormous repertoire of skill, power, and agility drills. 3 to 4 sets of any of the above drills performed over 25 yards will provide an excellent general warm-up and will really wake up the central nervous system. Mobility and agility are as important to athletics as strength and power. Tumbling is one of our favorite methods of training mobility and agility, especially when dealing with level changes. We believe tumbling should be a mandatory agility drill for anyone that will eventually hit the ground. This means athletes and anyone taking a vacation that could involve falling, like skiing. Tumbling provides a certain amount of comfort and fluency during level changes when injury can result from stiffening up. Tumbling also combines kinesthetics with flexibility and powerful movements. This combination truly creates the foundation for athleticism. Although tumbling drills can get rather advanced, we have kept things very simple. Our objective here is to provide you with some ordinary drills that can produce extraordinary results. Now let's take a look at a few of our favorites. Forward rolls can save necks, shoulders, and arms when falling forward. It is a simple drill that can be performed over each shoulder and eventually over the head. Learn this exercise from a 4-point base first, and then progress to your feet. This drill serves as a great dynamic flexibility drill for the entire body. For additional reaction training, a skill can be added at the end of the roll. The ability to perform a backward roll has prevented many concussions and spinal injuries. This should also be mastered over each shoulder and in combination. When one can backward roll from a standing position and over each shoulder, a handspring at the end will add a nice upper body explosive finish. When it comes to total body power and flexibility, it does not get better than cartwheels. This exercise requires one to quickly decelerate and balance one's body on a single hand. It also requires excellent core strength and flexibility in the frontal plane. Cartwheels should be mastered to both sides. You will clearly see kinesthetic and flexibility deficiencies when you have athletes or clients perform them to both sides. Power development can come from the most unsuspecting exercises, such as these round-offs. Once cartwheels are mastered, round-offs provide a little bit more pop in terms of power. The rotational component of the round-offs also brings in a serious transverse plane component. Although the round-off provides more power and rotation than the traditional cartwheel, it requires less lower body flexibility. A kip is an explosive movement that is easy to understand but very hard to actually perform. It takes an enormous amount of total body power, excellent flexibility, and lightning fast quickness. A soft surface is essential for proper safety when learning this skill. Once the forward roll progression is mastered, the dive roll can be attempted. It's basically a forward roll with a little amplitude. Instead of starting from the 4-point base, you will actually initiate the roll after a forward dive. To add intensity to the dive roll, various obstacles can be used. This is a great way to train obstacle avoidance. If you want to see this move in action, just watch a football game. Many goal line touchdowns have been scored with this move. Now if all of this bores you, just skip the roll and land this baby. Max weighs in at a solid 220, so big athletes can also develop this much power and athleticism. Jumps are one of the easiest bodyweight exercises you can perform to develop the vertical power often seen in sports and many recreational activities. Jumping over a partner is a great way to increase the amplitude of this exercise. Remember, you are jumping over another person, so always put safety first and make sure the jump height is appropriate for the athlete. The jump over and crawl under combine vertical power with an immediate level change. The bottom person is required to raise the hips up a little so that the crawling person can fit underneath the hips. The intensity can be increased by the bottom person's hip position. The higher the hips of the bottom individual, the harder the exercise. It's that simple. Singles or multiple rep combinations can be performed to add variety. One-leg reactive hops are an active recovery exercise we use after heavy metabolic or strength work. The person holding the leg challenges the person on a single leg in all directions by creating movement. Additional body contact can be added for greater training stimulus or for assistance in balance. Agility can come in different flavors, and even elite athletes can have problems with the basics. Learning the basic tumbling and agility drills will certainly develop athleticism. Since some people will be more proficient than others, the various progressions demonstrated in this video will provide multiple levels of difficulty. You will be able to go as far as your athletes and clients are capable of. These exercises can make a great warm-up session or can be used to develop total body agility, flexibility, and power. A combination of the above drills can be used anywhere within a training session. 2 to 3 sets of 5 reps of each of the above drills will provide a great training blend in about 5 minutes. Exercises from the prone push-up position are one of our most popular ways to train the core. Push-ups allow us to train the core while addressing upper body strength. They require the entire ventral musculature to engage and stabilize the body in an integrated fashion. Let's look at a few of our favorite progressions. The push-up from an elbow stabilization is our entry-level progression. It makes it easy for us to teach the proper stabilization mechanics in the prone position. This progression also incorporates the stability of the shoulder girdle as well as the entire core. To add variation, this stabilization exercise can be performed from the side or with rotation. This push-up variation provides all of the core work of the previous progression, but really hammers away at the arms. If done slowly, few individuals will be able to extend the arms to the full lockout position. The T stability roll from the lockout position is the precursor to the T stabilization push-up. The rotation allows the shoulder and core to be trained in a multiplanar fashion, something almost impossible to do on any machine. Keep the core tight and push the shoulders away from the neck to make the perfect T. This exercise is a must for anyone who plans on pushing away from the body from any position. Box step-ups with the upper body are essentially the same as a box step with the feet. Using the hands to step up not only emphasizes shoulder joint stability, but also works the entire kinetic chain. Different step levels and directions of movement give this progression multiple variations and levels of intensity. Push-ups are one of the most fundamental exercises for anyone to perform. The main thing we look for is a stabilized core position free of pain and pressure to the hip and lumbar spine. Adding a transverse plane stimulus is as easy as abducting the free leg. Although the body does not actually move in the transverse plane, resisting the rotation this position encourages provides excellent transverse plane stability training. To increase the demands of the push-up, you can elevate the feet with the help of a partner or the wall. As you will see in the shoulder section, the feet can be elevated all the way up to vertical for advanced training and increased shoulder emphasis. The T stabilization push-ups expand on the multiplanar approach to training that we always look for. Like the T stabilization rolls, this exercise is appropriate for any person that posts the arm on the ground or another person. To increase the difficulty level, the feet can be brought closer together, culminating in this single leg stabilization. Wrestlers always post an arm on the ground, and football running backs stiff-arm defenders, making this exercise a favorite with these athletes. The Cobra push-up is very popular with martial artists and yoga practitioners. It combines flexibility and strength and places emphasis on the shoulder complex and core. For added core involvement, try this exercise on a single leg. Dips are a tried and true body weight exercise. However, care should be taken to assure that there is ample shoulder flexibility before performing this exercise. Parallel bars are available in many parks, and various bar and bench setups can be used in gyms without a dipping station. To vary intensity and flexibility demands, different hand, body, and foot placements can be used. These partner chest pushes are the first in the partner pushing progression. They start to teach the balance and asymmetrical nature of functional partner strength training. Pushing from this kneeling or low position is also a perfect way to train the core while working on hip flexibility and balance. Using various angles of leans and speeds can add intensity and specificity to this exercise. The next pushing progression is the partner push-up. The top person places the hands on each shoulder of the bottom partner while performing the push-up. A more advanced progression allows staggered and perpendicular configurations. To accomplish this, the top person can use various hand placements along the upper body and core of the bottom partner. One of our favorite progressions in this category is the head and shoulder hand placement. We specifically use this progression for people needing a strong neck, like football players and wrestlers. The advanced progression ends up with both hands on the head of the bottom partner. This is advanced training and should not be attempted without years of proper neck development. The reactive partner push-up progression now allows the bottom partner to move. First, we allow both people to perform push-ups. We use different timing sequences to further challenge both individuals. The final progression has the bottom partner trying to buck the top partner off, while the top partner continues to perform push-ups in a rhythmic fashion. Wheelbarrow walks are a fun exercise that most people can do, even if they can't perform push-ups. However, correct execution in this movement is essential for the explosive hops that follow this basic progression. The bottom person should maintain perfect body posture without bending their knees. However, bending the knees while tightening the glutes can provide excellent flexibility work for the hips as long as proper pelvic stabilization is maintained through the abdominal musculature. The top person should walk at a pace that challenges the bottom individual, but not to the point where the bottom partner loses their stride. The one-arm push-up is one of the top performers for core and shoulder joint stabilization. This exercise is as hard for the core as it is for the upper body. It's not for everyone, but if you're looking to challenge yourself, your clients, or your athletes, this move will do it. To start, keep the legs open for a wide base of support, and eventually move the feet closer. Using various placements of the free arm will move your center of mass, also altering the intensity of the exercise. The partner weave push-up is a great way to add a team challenge to the training environment. Although the 4-person weave is our favorite, 2-member teams can also attempt this progression. Start on the ground in the push-up position and interlock the legs in a weave fashion. Once everyone is stabilized, all team members push up simultaneously. We don't spend too much time with this exercise, but a free pizza to the team with the most number of reps will always end the training session with laughter and hard work. The single arm push-ups are tough enough on their own without having to add a partner's weight. This exercise was inspired by the Wizard, a wrestling move that often puts 2 wrestlers in this position. The athletes interlock the arms and legs and perform a push-up with a posting arm. At first, we allow for the interlocking legs to have ground support during the exercise. As strength increases, less and less support is needed to perform the push-up. Few people have been able to perform this exercise with no support from the interlocking legs. Prone hand wrestling is a natural progression to all of the push-ups we have covered. 2 people face each other in a push-up position and try to pull each other off balance. The game is really simple. The last person standing wins. For the monster bench pressers, we have these next 2 push-up progressions. It is imperative that the partner hyper and the partner crunch be mastered prior to attempting these progressions. During these exercises, the bottom person's job is to continue to perform a push-up through the entire time. The top person wraps their legs around the bottom individual in a prone or supine position. In the prone position, the top person can perform a hyperextension. The bottom partner needs a wide foot base and high hips so that the top person can place their legs in a secure position. Crunches are also possible from this combination position using all of the cues previously described. It is recommended that a lighter individual be in the top position until the strength of the bottom person can support someone of equal weight. This exercise makes a real killer incline press for the bottom partner. The pike press is a great way to work the shoulders using just body weight. This progression can start with the feet on the floor. Although it's the easiest progression in terms of strength, it is the most demanding position for glute and hamstring flexibility. It's a great 2-for-1 exercise. To add more weight to the exercise, an elevated foot position can be used. A partner, a box, or the wall can be used to stabilize the lower body. To add more intensity, one leg can be extended. This one leg position adds the mass of the extended leg to the resistance the shoulders are handling. On top of strength demands needed to pull this move off, there is the additional demand for flexibility and core strength. Using various handles and boxes will allow you to vary the range of motion and intensity of these presses. The final progression within the shoulder presses is the fully extended position. Putting one's feet against the wall will allow the shoulders to handle almost 100% of body weight. Again, to increase range of motion, handles or boxes can be utilized. Recline pulls are a great way to start the pulling progression. Almost anyone can complete this move at some level. As the angle between the ground and the body is reduced, the back muscles see a greater percentage of body weight. Various bars, handles, and ropes can serve as inexpensive tools to allow this exercise to be performed anywhere. Of course, different hand and foot positions can serve as tweaks to keep this exercise challenging. Pull-ups have long been a standard in the world of strength and conditioning. As with the previous exercise, we utilize various handles and grips to give this old exercise a new look. Try different variations and use what works best for you. Oversized grip is excellent for wrestlers. Ropes and towels can serve to add specificity to other combative athletes like judo players and football linemen. The ropes we used were purchased from a marine supply store at about $2.50 a linear foot. These variations are quite challenging for most of our athletes. Not only are the muscles of the back being worked, but grip strength and core stability also come into play. Partner pulls have about 3 to 4 progressive levels. The beginning stages allow the top person to support the arms on the legs, while the bottom person performs a reclined pull. In this phase, we teach proper back and hip position. The back position we use will depend on the application. Lordotic positions for some of our lifters and more kyphotic positions for our wrestlers. The second progression requires the top person to really use their back and hips to stabilize the bent over position. The partner rowing motion will provide variable and asymmetrical resistance, just like in real life. The final stage has both partners performing unsupported, simultaneous, or alternating pulls. This exercise is the ultimate partner exercise to develop grip, arm, and core strength. Our wrestlers love them. The one-arm row is a common exercise seen in most gyms. It is effective for developing the muscles of the back and adding strength to the bent over position. This exercise can be performed with a partner and provides training for both of the participants. The top person can pull from various positions and on various parts of the partner's body. When pulling on the partner's lower body, the bottom person can work the core by maintaining a nice, tight, supine bridge position. When pulling on the partner's upper body, both individuals can utilize the entire upper body for stability and dynamic strength. Here we show the top partner using a standard staggered stance one-arm pull. Depending on what progression you use, the angle can mimic that of a dumbbell row or a low pulley row. Farmer walks got their name from how farmers carry calves, hogs, and other large animals. To secure the top person, one arm goes under the armpit and the other arm goes between or under the legs. At the beginning stages of training, the person being carried can assist the exercise by holding onto the partner's neck or shoulders. As the carrier's strength increases, the partner being carried should just hold the body in a firm position and offer no assistance. This can get really intense with the heavyweights. Once the farmer's isometric holds are mastered, walking can be attempted. This exercise really taxes the arms and the entire back. Due to the compressive forces, it's also a great total body exercise. This is another one of those gut-wrenching exercises that is really easy to do. We use them after metabolic protocols to mimic strenuous situations that make breathing really tough. Partner curl-ups follow the farmer's walk progression. From the same carry position, curl up the partner with a little back arc, but without using the legs and hips. The range of motion is short and the speed is controlled. Now let's go to the gym floor to see what these exercises look like. Explosive push-ups are the easiest way to develop explosive upper body power. They can be made more challenging by elevating the feet or by changing hand position with each landing. Reacting to the pull and push of a partner holding the feet can really kick this exercise into another gear. Upper body depth jumps are a great way to train quick power in the upper body. We try not to use boxes higher than 9 inches due to the shock on the wrists and the dip needed for upward propulsion. This is an advanced progression, and as always, safety should be put first. Wheelbarrow hops are a natural progression after the wheelbarrow walks and the reactive push-ups we previously covered. Like the barrel walks, this drill makes a great game when working with large groups. Our athletes love to race with these hops. We normally don't hop more than 10 yards due to the pressure on the wrists. After all, we're not trying to develop the ability to run a marathon on our hands. The plyo pull with a rope works the stretch reflex of the pulling muscles. The entire posterior musculature also gets a nice explosive training stimulus as one tries to keep the core tight and stabilized through the entire movement. Anyone who needs to pull explosively will benefit greatly from this exercise. Try different grips, heights, and positions to add variety to this movement. It's a real killer. Now let's see what some of these exercises look like in real life. Since training needs to be fun and interesting, we use a variety of interesting pieces of equipment that complement body weight work. Hurdles can be used to create various configurations that can train flexibility of the hips as well as level changes and obstacle avoidance. For example, these step over and duck under exercises are an easy substitute for the partner over and under. Hurdles add a different challenge to hip mobility and can be used to create endless configurations that will tailor the exercise to the goals of any individuals you're working with. If you have no partner to lift, sandbags are a great option. Unlike a partner, they can be dropped or thrown without the potential of injury. You can buy expensive pre-made models or make your own from big duffel bags and some biscuit. Big old tires can be flipped to create realistic combative situations. Football players, judo players, and wrestlers relate to this type of training. This is just good old-fashioned hard work. Various harness or rope and sled combinations can also be used to develop forward thrusting power. We really don't use this for speed development due to the breakdown in form that results from the high training loads. We use this method of training for power and conditioning. Obviously, stability balls can be used to add difficulty to any exercise. The unstable training environment will require more stability and balance. Stability balls can also offer a method of impact training for advanced athletic applications. This is truly one of our most versatile pieces of equipment. A variety of balance pieces can be used to make exercises more interesting. RX pads, rocker boards, and Dyna discs are among our favorites for developing balance and stability. They are inexpensive and can be added to your arsenal as time and finances allow. In a world of gadgets and new fads, it's good to know that the best things this world has to offer are still available to all. The human body and body weight training are two of those things. With a little desire and lots of hard work, the sky is the limit in terms of strength and conditioning you can develop. We invite all of you to incorporate some of these exercises into your current training sessions. It will really spice up your life. As usual, it has been a real treat and adventure bringing you this information. Educating and inspiring is what these projects are all about. We would like you to meet some of the characters we got to work with in this project, so we will introduce them to you over this 2-volume series. This is Alex Jones. You have seen this young man grow up through our videos. He is the hardest working athlete I have ever trained, and we all think the world of him. Russ Manino was one of Spanish River's best wrestlers and has now gone on to the exciting college life. Mike Maxim is a pure stud and smarter than all of us. Although he was a great wrestler in high school, he decided to outsmart us all and become one of the top members of the UF cheerleading squad with a 4.0 average. Way to go, Max. Diane Vivas rarely gets credit for being a consummate trainer and coach because she has taken the awesome task of making IHP the place to be. She is now back on the training floor as our head trainer. Jermaine Brantley is one of our newest interns from the great state of Georgia. He has been a fantastic addition to this project. Gary Lavin, as you know, is our seminar and video coordinator. He is always on the job working hard, but always manages to have a lot of fun while keeping long hours. Victor Verhaag, otherwise known as the V-Man, was first introduced to you in the Dumbbell Project. He has now become the new Director of Operations for IHP. Finally, I would like to acknowledge the work of my wife, Deb. She is an absolute angel and without a doubt, my best friend and our biggest supporter. My other angels, Rio and Kayla, continue to bring smiles to our faces every day. And since you last saw us, our new addition has arrived. Dante Alexander. Now at 5 months, he's a block of pure mass weighing over 22 pounds. Does this look familiar? Well, until our next project, thank you for your support and interest. Stay healthy, happy, and strong. Now I leave you with the wonderful music of my friend Eddie Montilla.